Hello there. Welcome to Telecom Weekly, sponsored by the telecom regulator, the Nigerian Communications Commission, to educate, inform and update you with latest trends, issues, news and developments in the telecom and ICT sector of Nigeria and other parts of the globe. I am Oluwatobi Eniton. At NCC, we connect you to the world. Coming up in this edition: digital economy acceleration. Federal government approves provision of broadband internet in 75 locations across the country. Technology adaptation are key to 21st century entrepreneurial boom, says NCC. Also in this edition, telecom consumers speak on the impact of telecom consumer assistance resolution and inquiries, Telcadex. Plus, Nigerian Defense Academy's officer cadets of 72 regular corps visit the NCC on educational tour. Please stay tuned.
On NCC Telecom Weekly, we bring you innovations, trends, policies and stakeholders, redefining all sectors of our economy today. Here, you'll see the actors, policymakers and creativity that will shape your mind and business for growth in line with today's reality. Join us every Friday, 5 p.m. on NTN Network and on radio, FRCN Network on Fridays, 8 p.m. NCC, Connecting Nigeria.
The Federal Executive Council recently approved the provision of broadband for free internet in 75 locations, including 20 airports, tertiary institutions, and markets nationwide. Let's get the reaction of Nigerians on this gesture.
Users of telecom products and services in the country have expressed their excitement over the federal government's decision to provide free internet in some selected airports and universities. While many commended the plan as a welcome development, some others say such deployment should be done in earnest, as the impact will have on the socio-economic sector of the economy will be huge.
It will ease some of the things we do, especially for people on social media who sells their product, who advertise products and all that. It will ease them the stress of having to pay for data.
People will enjoy it, and it will also bring down the cost of data from other telecommunication industry.
It's a good idea now. It's improvement in communication.
To be of really good benefit to students in school, because of when you have to research on assignments and you have to Google or search and your parents don't have data. If you have this free Wi-Fi now, it's really good. And educational apps like eLesson that always needs Wi-Fi. It's when they introduce this free Wi-Fi, there will be no need of poor academic activity, so this free Wi-Fi will really be beneficial to students.
The states that will benefit from the planned deployment include Lagos and Ondo in the southwest, Imo, Anambra and Enugu in the southeast, Rivers and Akwa Ibom from the south-south, Abuja and Kwara for the north-central, Kano, Sokoto and Kebbi for the northwest, and Adamawa, Maiduguri and Gombe for northeast. The 24.20 billion naira project, which is particularly intended to ease communication challenges and make for seamless online transactions, is to be implemented by the Nigerian Communications Commission within a period of 5 months. The federal government has unveiled the second and third phases of its free broadband connectivity initiative in selected markets, airports and universities across the country. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja where letters were issued to benefiting institutions, Professor Issa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, said the second and third phases of free internet service initiative, which was bankrolled with the sum of 41.6 billion naira, is meant to accommodate additional public institutions comprising 49 institutions of higher learning, 6 markets and 20 airports, thus bringing the total number of such interventions to 113.
When it comes to the market, as I earlier mentioned, I happen to be the champion of Massachusetts Institute of Technology. What they have been promoting is IDE, Innovation Driven Enterprises. a situation where we increase the visibility of our markets. Instead of allowing our markets, our entrepreneurs to operate locally, let us give them global visibility. And this is what we are trying to achieve. At the National Information Technology Development Agency, we have been donating domain names for free for our entrepreneurs all over the country, sometimes supporting them also to create their website and conduct their businesses, not only physically but virtually. By doing that virtually, it will give them global visibility.
Besides the free broadband connectivity initiative, which according to the minister was made possible from internally generated revenue that accrued from the ICT sector, Professor Pantami also dwelt on the milestone achieved recorded in the area of its contribution to Nigeria's gross domestic product.
Priority number one, broadband penetration. We got 134% instead of delivering by 70% as A. Number two, 4G penetration in Nigeria. We obtained 127% based on the independent assessment. Number three, also to develop policies for the digitalization of function and processes in government. Under that one, we obtained 99%. Number four, also to support digital ID in Nigeria, we got 86%. Number five, to enhance revenue generation for government is number five. We got 594%, an increase in revenue generation quarterly from 51 billion naira to over 408 billion naira quarterly.
In his welcome remarks, the chairman, Nigerian Communications Commission Board, Professor Adeolu Akande, noted that the free broadband initiative was conceived by the ministry to bring about an ease in the diversification plans of government as well as ensure a knowledge-based economy.
The Ministry of Communications have provided leadership for all the agencies under it, including the Nigerian Communications Commission, to develop a pool of Nigerians that can become active stakeholders in the digital economy so that the world does not leave Nigeria behind in the new world economic order.
Professor Abubakar Adamu Rashid, Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission, NUC, in his goodwill message on the occasion, thanked the minister for the unlimited broadband provision to varsities in the country, adding that the NUC will make good use of the scheme, which is described as a defining character of a true knowledge-based society.
We are happy that internet and other associated infrastructure are now being made available to universities free of charge and at an unlimited level. Honorable Minister, we are very grateful.
A high point of the ceremony was the presentation of certificates to benefiting institutions. The press conference on the provision of broadband connectivity for airports, markets and universities in Nigeria was attended by the academia, representatives of the Aviation Ministry and many other key stakeholders. The Federal Executive Council, FEC, had a meeting in Abuja chaired by the President, Muhammadu Buhari, disclosed that 20 selected airports, 6 markets and 43 universities across the country have been approved to benefit from free internet services. The project, which is intended to ease communications challenge and make for seamless online transactions, will be implemented within a period of 5 months by the Nigerian Communications Commission.
Our next story is from the 10th edition of Business 360 Clinics, organized by the Abuja Enterprise Agency, AEA. At the event, the Commission stated that interagency collaboration and technology adaptation are key for achieving the much-desired business and entrepreneurial growth.
The Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, has described the adaptation of technology and interagency collaboration as the path to achieving business and entrepreneurial growth. Professor Umar Garuba Dambata, Executive Vice Chairman and CEO, NCC, represented by Mr. Paul Okeke, Assistant Director, Digital Economy Department of the Commission, stated this in a goodwill message to the 10th edition of Business 360 clinics organized by the Abuja Enterprise Agency. Speaking on the theme, Technology Utilization and Innovation, its effect on SMEs' profitability and productivity. The EVC's representative commended the organizers for recognizing the place of interagency collaboration towards driving the digital space, even as he noted that technology is important to conducting real-time business online.
When you want to do a business and you are not on social media, you're not on WhatsApp, you're not on Facebook, you're not on Instagram, you're not on Twitter. I wonder how you want to sell. So, from that perspective, the role of NCC, first and foremost, we are the regulators of the telecom industry in Nigeria. By that, what we do is that we ensure that players like my brother here from MTN and other operators are able to deliver service, telecommunication services, and make it available and accessible to everybody.
Mr. Okeke also touched on the Commission's effort towards increasing broadband penetration to support the nation's technological ecosystem and promote entrepreneurship.
If you have technology and if you adopt technology into your business, you become globally visible. Your market becomes the world. You can be accessed and your product can be sold anywhere in the world. People have access to you and they're able to request and demand for your product. So when you do so, it means that your market reach is global. And then it means you're no longer a local player. And we know what that means. That translates to income, that translates to revenue, that translates to economic prosperity. So you cannot overemphasize the importance of technology. All the icons, all the Silicon Valleys, all the successful businesses today are doing what they are doing because they leverage on technology.
Malam Shehu Abdulkadri, Managing Director and CEO, Abuja Enterprise Agency, tells Telecom Weekly that there is a link between technology adaptation and the growing interest in entrepreneurship.
I'm happy today we've had from a lot of stakeholders in the tech industry, from NITDA, NCC, and name it, and they've provided very good advice on how SMEs can leverage on technology to take their businesses to the next level. Technology is an enabler, and in this day and age, you really need it as an SME to take your business to the next level. Be it mechanic, like you've seen today, we have people from the auto mechanic industry that are using diagnostic device to diagnose problems in cars and provide solutions. So whatever aspects of SME or entrepreneurship you're into, you really need technology to, be able to prosper in this 21st century.
In his keynote address, Kashifu Inuwa Abdullahi, Director General and CEO, National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, represented by Engineer Yakub Musa, National Coordinator, Office for Nigerian Digital Innovation of the agency, emphasized the need for effective use of technology, especially to improve the productivity of small and medium-scale enterprises and ensure their successes.
I'm immensely impressed with your theme targeted at enabling small and medium enterprises to utilize ICT strategies and tools for achieving stable growth as potential high-impact, high-growth enterprises. Globally, the economic well-being or otherwise of a nation depends on its capacity to utilize technology for business operations in all sectors. By utilizing technology, developing countries can create wealth, generate jobs, implement economic diversification, and open more opportunities to expand their economic fortunes.
The event, which is a yearly platform that helps SMEs explore the adoption of technology and its impact on businesses, had in attendance industry regulators, telecom service providers, and entrepreneurs.
You can always always be a part of this program by joining us via our multiple social media platforms.
NCC social media handles. Email ncc@ncc.gov.ng. Facebook Nigerian.communications.commission. Twitter @ngcomcommission. Instagram @ngcomcommission. YouTube ngcomcommission. LinkedIn Nigerian-communications-commission. Website www.ncc.gov.ng.
For inquiries on this program, you can send a mail to telecomweekly@ncc.gov.ng. For further details about the activities of the Commission, visit www.ncc.gov.ng. The Telecom Consumer Assistance Resolution and Inquiries Telcare Desk was recently launched by NCC at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport, Abuja. Telecom Weekly got to speak with some Nigerians about their experiences.
The Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) launched its Telecom Consumer Assistance Resolution and Inquiries Telcare Desk at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja on March 15 this year as part of activities marking World Consumer Rights Day 2023. During the unveiling, the Commission said the Telcare Desk is part of its commitment to empowering telecom consumers by educating, informing and protecting them from unfair practices. In the first few weeks of its operation, the Telcare Desk has attracted the interest of telecom consumers who express satisfaction with the impact it is making.
Telcare service, I think, is a new innovation and a new development. It's a good idea if they will track and check balance our activities with the network providers. If NCC will caution our network providers and having telcare services that will further lay our complaints, it's a good development. I think I'm in support of it.
With this telcare policy now, it will help many Nigerians and consumers to get back their money and have good services.
As we all know, we have a huge number of telecom consumers, and for such a huge industry, people may have complaints or inquiries concerning the services. So this is to provide another platform where they can bring their complaints, issues, and we try to resolve them. And of course, we must say that, of course, NCC is not the service provider, we are the regulator, but all we want to do is to facilitate the resolutions of complaints and also help them with respect to inquiries.
The Telcare Desk is available and makes life easier for travelers. Once they come, they have issues that they've reported to their service providers and haven't gotten satisfactory responses. They could escalate to the NCC. So the NCC also has a 622 toll-free number which they could call at their convenience to also lodge their complaints or make inquiries.
During the launch of the desk, Professor Umar Garuba Dambata, Executive Vice Chairman and CEO, NCC, represented by Mr. Clem Omife, Deputy Director, Consumer Affairs Bureau, reiterated that the Commission places high premium on the protection of the rights of consumers because it is consumer-centric.
From the records we have, about 5 to 15 million passengers pass through this airport annually. And of course, passengers are telecom consumers, and we know sometimes they have issues with services. So we are just bringing the desk close to consumers. We know we also have some other channels, the electronic channels, our 622 and so on and so forth. But we know it's not every consumer that may likely engage with us on that platform, whether it's the consumer portal, the Instagram, our Twitter and pay or whatever. There are some people that would also want to come to the desk for resolution of their complaints. So it's an expansion of the channels that we have so that we can serve the Nigerian consumers better.
The Telecom Consumer Assistance Resolution and Inquiries Telecare Desk is an additional channel for consumers to make inquiries on consumer issues, allowing the Commission to provide advocacy on consumer concerns as well as create awareness regarding its activities.
The need for the adoption of new technologies that can be implemented for modern combat readiness tactics towards building an insurgency-free country has been re-emphasized as the NCC receives officer cadets of the Nigerian Defense Academy on a study tour.
As part of its commitment to develop strategic collaborations to promote innovations, the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) hosted the Officer Cadet of 72 Regular Course, Department of Computer Science of the Nigerian Defense Academy. Kelechi Wankwo, the head corporate planning, strategy and risk management, welcomed the officers cadet, led by Captain Ibrahim Bameyi, who were on a study tour to the Commission's headquarters in Abuja.
ICT has been very instrumental in sustaining our economy. Apart from that, ICT has enabled us to learn, to play, and even to entertain one another. So today we are pleased to collaborate with you, share our knowledge with you, and also get you to give us feedback on how you think the Commission is doing.
In his address to the cadets, Professor Umar Garuba Dambata, Executive Vice Chairman, NCC, charged the officers to envisage the military's mandate to defend its terrain and respond to attacks in view of the ever-evolving technologies in the digital age.
We must engage with critical stakeholders, of which the military is one, in order to listen to them, explain to them what we are doing, and by so doing, get a feedback that will in turn enhance, the journey we are undertaking deliberately in order to improve the quality of service that is being provided by mobile network operators, to ensure optimum utilization of resources like spectrum, and to ensure we attract the right amount of investment into the sector for the provision of more qualitative and efficient services. That is the essence of this visit by students, officers, and students of the Nigerian Defense Academy from the Computer Science Department. They may look very young, but they are the future of this country. And if we can catch them young, bring them up gradually, they will do us a lot of pride by ensuring we achieve the desired objective that I've just stated.
He also urged the young officers to study the ICT ecosystem as it benefits their military training.
The ultimate training we are giving our officers and gentlemen, in the military is modern warfare technique. And this technique does not rely in physical combat anymore. You don't even come close to each other. The war is normally won without exchanging a single blow. The war is normally won safely in the command and control centers where, like I said, the electronic combat readiness strategy is being implemented, locating where the enemy is and giving instructions to the Air Force to do the damage that will contain the threats posed by the enemy. I'm not a military man, but I think what we are seeing increasingly is the deployment of items of electronic equipment, to fight, the war. And that is why I said our state of electronic combat readiness must be the highest if at all we want to win the fight against security, against external aggressions, against maintenance and sustenance of peace within this country.
In response, Dr. Abraham Ewekpaife, Head Computer Science Department at NDA, who represented Major General Ibrahim Yusuf, the commandant of the NDA, commended the Commission for providing an opportunity for the cadets to relate their lecture room learnings to the real-world situations.
The cadets are here for industrial visits or what we call educational visits. It has always been a pattern for us coming here, but we know that NCC is a regulatory body, and when it comes to communications, NCC is foremost. When it comes to IT, NCC is equally foremost. And here we're combining IT and communications to have ICT. And I think there's no better place to go than to come to NCC.
Various experts from the New Media and Information Security, Information Technology and Spectrum Administration departments took the students through engaging sessions during the visit. Strategic collaborations and hosting educational visits are part of the Commission's effort for promoting the integration of information and communications technology into the military infrastructure and to enhance the capabilities of a nation's armed forces in a digitally driven economy.
We have come to the end of this week's episode of Telecom Weekly. Before we go, don't forget, you can always be a part of this program by joining us via our multiple social media platforms.
NCC social media handles. Email ncc@ncc.gov.ng. Facebook Nigerian.communications.commission. Twitter @ngcomcommission. Instagram @ngcomcommission. YouTube ngcomcommission. LinkedIn Nigerian-communications-commission. Website www.ncc.gov.ng.
For inquiries on this program, you can send a mail to telecomweekly@ncc.gov.ng. For further details on the activities of the Commission, visit www.ncc.gov.ng. Telecom Weekly is brought to you by the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, your partner to a connected Nigeria. Until we come your way again next week, I am Oluwatobi Eniitan saying bye for now.